Hi, and welcome to Forever the Optimist podcast with me, Lindsey.
And me, Emma.
I actually forgot what the name of the podcast was for a minute then.
That's a great start, that one.
So before we get into this week's episode, which is about mental health and issues around that, we shall ask you what you've been up to in the last week.
I'd like a little bit of a family reunion with my Uncle Rob, my mum's brother. He's the next one up to here in the family line.
Yeah.
I love my Uncle Rob, he's just
nice.
Been training in new wards because I'm going to be getting secure trained, so that means Ashworth.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be able to scope out the rooms for us. Yeah, so it's been quite a nice little week, to be honest. Just a lot of intense training. How about you?
This week has not been that bad a week either. What was it this week? Not a lot, to be honest. Just worked, PT'd. Oh, I say not so much. Just launched a new business.
I was looking at you thinking, is that all you've done this week?
So Empower, mind, body, and beyond coaching.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So basically now it covers PT, hypnotherapy, CBT, life coaching, and all that. So that's it. That's gone quite well. Got a few taster hypno sessions booked in for people.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So yeah, I did do something. Launched a new business.
Yeah.
Edited the podcast. Planned a podcast. What else we did? No, yeah, that's it. We went to see Sam yesterday in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
Because my washing machine's broke, so I had to go to a laundrette.
What's their shop called again?
Incredible Wax.
Yeah. On Lineker Road in Bootle, if anyone wants to go and visit.
So laundrettes are fun places. Honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. I had to follow the thing on the wall. I was like, I'll put my money in where and do what? But yeah, the dryers were great. The washing machines are crap.
Ah, right, yeah.
But I'll hopefully have a new washing machine in the next few days. Otherwise, I'm going back to washing it in the sink because I think it'll be better.
Do all your washing in the sink and just go down there to use the dryer?
Honestly, yeah, the dryers are great.
Yeah.
Washing machines, I don't even feel like the clothes clean. What else have we done? Not in this week. Have you got anything planned for the weekend? Anything nice?
No, I haven't got anything. Ours are always spontaneous.
Yeah.
Our weekends are always like, see what you feel like when you wake up.
Yeah. The best way to be, I plan things and then it gets round to doing them. And I'm like, I can't be bothered doing that. Yeah. I want to do something else anyway. But I think this weekend will be a chilled one. Because next weekend, remember the school play we did our day out?
Yeah.
Me and our Wendy have planned to go and do Ingleton.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently our Adam's coming with us.
Oh,
and so's our Graham. And our Andrew. Possibly our Anthony. Maybe our Gary. Family day out at Ingleton Falls is going to be great.
Yeah, it is going to be like our day out. Don't be stopping in any shops.
It's going to be at least 5 dogs. Fun times. Actually, I am looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Ingleton I love anyway. It's my favourite, one of my favourite places to go after Coniston. Yeah. Family day out.
Oh, no, I think that'd be lovely.
And shall we make a start on the actual podcast and stop boring people? Oh, no, before we do, I watched something last night and you've got to watch it.
Okay.
It ends with us.
Oh, with Blake Lively in it?
Yeah. Brilliant filming.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know I've seen it's had rave reviews.
Honestly.
It's just there.
I was shouting at the telly.
Was you?
Yeah. I was lying on the couch and I was like, no, don't you dare. Don't you. Run. Honestly, I was so invested in this movie last night.
Oh, wow. Because it's off a book, isn't it?
Yeah.
The book's supposed to be like amazing.
Yeah.
And when I've read reviews, people who've read the book have said they've actually interpreted it really, really well.
I like her anyway. I think she's great anyway.
Oh, I love her.
But in that, you honestly watch it and you'll be exactly the same. But apparently there's a second one coming out now. It starts with us.
Yeah, because there's 3. I think there's 3 books, isn't there? So,
but I was proper into it. And then at the end, I was like, yes! You know it's good when I proper get invested in it.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. And yeah, there's a scene in it where one of the fellas from our past, it's not ruining nothing, hugs and he goes, if you're ever in a position to fall in love again, just fall in love with me. And my little heart just went, oh. And then, yeah. Anyway, it was really good. You got to watch it.
Oh.
Not that I'm a hopeless romantic or anything, am I?
Oh, no, I love that. I do. But yeah.
Right. Anyway, mental health.
Mental health.
I've never really struggled with my mental health. Obviously, I've had times where I've been down and sad and grieving and what have you.
Grief is a part of mental health.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've struggled with my mental health though. I've always had quite a strong mentality. Yeah, even when it's been the sad side of it, I've always found the positive. Hence, Forever the Optimist.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people do struggle, and in fact, I was having a little Google before while I was waiting for you, and
facts.
We've got facts on the mind.org.
Yes.
1 in 4 people will experience mental health problems of some kind each year. And 1 in 6 report it each week.
That's quite shocking. So you've got all that many people.
That's just in the UK as well.
Sitting there struggling because they don't want to speak to no one. I'll be honest, my mental health, in the beginning, I didn't want to seek help. I think that's like when I got really ill after I had Lage. And I started doing CBT for the first time because I had postnatal depression and then it went into full-blown depression. And I had to go CBT for the first time, and it was the first time I've actually just opened myself up to any type of therapy, opened myself up to any sort of... I'd done bits of counselling in school when our Paul got ill.
Yeah.
That was more centred around the fact of how you're feeling with your brother.
It should be something standard for the kids each week. Yeah.
I love it now. Like our Ethan's school, well, old school, it was old high school. Litherland has a wellbeing room, and they have a wellbeing officer. So if the kids are struggling and things like that, they can go to the wellbeing room, and there's a qualified person there to speak to them and help them. And then if they need to get referred to CAMS or need any type of other referral, they do it for you while you're there.
You know that CAMS?
Yes.
They are great once you can get in with them.
Yes.
I know when, I'm not going to say names, but when saying someone was self-harming, we tried to get them CAMS, we tried everything.
Yep.
And the waiting list for that is ridiculous. And I'm not blaming anyone because obviously a lot of people need help, but they need to do something because we ended up going private. Well, he needed to go private because I think it was 6 to 8 weeks wasn't going to work.
The waiting list for that now is even longer.
So bad, isn't it?
It's even longer, and that's what because like I work for Merseycare, it's NHS, but it's Merseycare, and they are a mental health trust. So they're now looking at they've noticed that the amount of young children that are committing suicide now, and the amount of young children that are, say, self-harming, there's a lot to do with, as we said, the social media side.
I was just going to say, links back to last week, doesn't it?
Yeah, like the bulimia, there's anorexia. They're plowing an awful lot of money into trying to get them down. Now, our Ethan, we had a really bad time with him. He was 14, I think he was, 13. So 13, 14, and we found he was self-harming. He had a plan to commit suicide. He'd even had a go, but I don't know, just didn't do it right. He just shit himself, I think.
You just say he just didn't do it right.
No, it's just like, no, don't mean it like that. I mean, like,
wow.
I don't know whether, because I think he wanted to take tablets. So he didn't know what to take. He didn't know, he hadn't researched it as good as he thought he had.
Also, if he has researched it, that we were told, we lost Craig, my mate.
Yeah.
11, nearly 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
The people that we spoke to after that, he said there's certain ways that people know how to do it that are final, and certain ways that are cry for help.
Yeah.
Usually taking the tablets is a cry for help. Yeah. Because you can be saved from that. Craig, unfortunately, took his own life by hanging himself. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was done.
Yeah.
But the tablets can be a cry for help as well.
I think that's what our Ethan was doing, because obviously we hadn't even had his diagnosis of the Asperger's yet.
Yeah.
It was like a whole lot of things went hand in hand, and I don't think he really thought it through, and he just wanted help. And
he don't know how to ask for it.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, our Steve was the same. He, just after losing mum, he tried to take his own life. But it was tablets, and what he took it wouldn't have done damage.
Yeah. Well, it would have done something, but it wouldn't have been detrimental.
But he took them and then phoned someone and said, I've took them, in the hope that that person would then help them, which they did. Don't think he reckoned on the reaction he got off me in the hospital, considering he was literally the next ward to where my mum passed away.
Yeah.
Told the ambulance crew to take him to the fracture clinic because that's where he was going to end up when I got my hands on him. Meant every word of it at the time.
Yeah.
Because I was so angry with him because he knew what I went through with losing Craig. But looking now, it was a cry for help on his part and I was being quite selfish there. But then it's hard because you don't know how to deal with it.
Oh God, no. Our Ethan's was always the thing of them me questioning, am I a good mum? Because that is what happens. If it's when it's someone close, it's not down to you. Even if it's your child, your brother, your sister, your best friend. If their mentality and if they're suffering so badly with their mental health that they're like, no, anything you say or do will not stop that.
No. I know with Craig, I questioned myself, was I a bad friend? What was I missed out on?
I remember you saying if I would have answered my phone that night, and I said, you don't know that?
Yeah, because I spoke to him at 7 and then gone out. It was Lisa's hen do. I was with Heather. And he phoned me when I was out and I couldn't answer it because we were a stupid game. He said it was a few hours after that he would have. But again, it's like Steve, because I've done anything with him with the drinking, because again, this will go into the addictions one, but his mental health is obviously massively gone, and then obviously the drinking, that didn't help that. And I've said before, I feel guilty over that still. But then the thing with that is I've got to watch that doesn't start affecting my mental health.
Yes, because then you'd end up in a circle. But then trying, if it does, for help.
Well, I have a life coach and I have hypnotherapy anyway, plus I'm trained in that too, so
yeah,
I know to reach out. I can do it on myself, but have someone else do it on me or go to someone else for it. It's that accountability factor as well. But I'm pretty good at catching my thoughts and stuff anyway and reframing them. And also, again, being positive and being strong, my mindset anyway. Realistically, I know I could have done no more than I did for Austin.
No. Oh my God, you've done more than probably most people would. And you stood by him through a lot.
Yeah. But it comforts me to think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Even though his mental health, he was done.
But nothing you would have said would have done that. And then that's the other thing with mental health, is that people get that far gone that when they do actually, when help becomes available, as you say, with the CAMHS waiting list and stuff like that, when help finally becomes available, is it too late?
I do think so, because he didn't want it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's other people out there that didn't want it by that point. They're done. They've just give up.
Yeah.
And it is hard to, watching a person self-harm, that nearly broke me, because he was a baby. All right, in fact, he would have been around the same age Ethan was. He was about 14. But it was heartbreaking because he knows he shouldn't be doing it. He knows why he was doing it. But he'd do it and then come to me going, look what I've done. And he'd be like, it's fine, it's okay. You're okay. Because where he was doing it as well, it was the top part, just below the elbow bend. But again, that's a cry for help. It's not where anything serious can be damaged. But we tried the whole things of not in sharpener's room. So we got the charger plug.
Yes.
They will find something.
They will find a way. I didn't know this because when it happened with our East, and I was like, the school had taken everything off him, like compasses, because that was what his thing of choice was a compass.
Oh.
And he'd scratch right through his arm. Where he would tell you that he'd done it.
Yeah.
Ethan didn't. Ethan would hide it. He'd start wearing long tops and he wouldn't come out of his room. He wouldn't like it in his room. Like nowadays, he's walking around in his underwear.
Yeah.
Like, he's not bothered. But if he started then not doing that, then we'd have to be worried because we know he's...
Yeah, but at the time, you wouldn't have gone, they're doing this.
No, I just thought because he was going through his teenage stages.
Puberty, isn't it?
Yeah, you hit puberty. You don't want your mum seeing you when you've got bloody bit of hair on your chest and stuff like that. Jesus. Yeah. So we didn't think nothing of it. And it was just his girlfriend at the time had said, he's doing it. She took it to the teacher because she was really worried about him. I'll be forever grateful to her for that. I really, really will.
You know what? So many girls wouldn't have for fear of Ethan turning on it even.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't imagine Ethan turning on anyone good looking. He's a sweetheart, isn't
he? Yeah. It's hard as a mum seeing your little baby that you give birth to and reared to look at him and think you're going through that much pain and this is what you think is the only way.
And I remember, obviously, this person isn't my baby or not, but I remember looking and thinking, I feel so helpless. And I remember sitting with him and saying, listen, I can Google this till the cows come home. You tell me what you need. You tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, just listen.
Mm.
And I was like, okay. And then I was having hypnotherapy at the time for dealing with some stuff. So I was like, do you want to try that? Mm. And I took him and we went. And when we went in, you said, can you stay in the session? I went, well, yeah, well, I've got mine first. So you can stay with mine. But it was my last one. So she was recapping everything I'd said to her. And she was like, listen, you come to me and you said you didn't feel good enough. You said you felt this way. And I suppose that's a mental health thing as well. And I remember going in my head, shit, he's hearing all this. I'm supposed to be strong for this person. And then I so went through it all. And then he had his. And I remember sitting there heartbroken with what come out. I'm not going to repeat it on here.
No.
I'm not.
No, it's personal.
But as we walked out, we got back in the car and he went to me, you should never feel like you're not good enough because you always will be. I'm not gonna lie, that nearly broke me.
He is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I'm glad he likes me anyway.
Doesn't like many people, to be fair.
That's what I mean. Doesn't like many people, but he likes me. I like
that. So with the school, did they get Ethan any help?
I think they did, yeah. They put him in, because they have him in the schools now, which I think is an amazing thing. It's only probably, it was just starting then, I think. But they're now like putting them in every school as a mental health advisor for children. So it's a paediatric mental health. So this person will be fully trained in spotting things to do with like self-harm and stuff like that. But they also have a mental health team.
Yeah.
So at the moment, our Elijah he has separation anxiety from me. So they've got the mental health team coming in now, and every Thursday they're there from 9 till 10, I think, and they do seminars for parents. So because I can't make it on a Thursday because I'm working, they send me all the information over. So in Ethan's school, I think that had just started. So they done a school referral to the early interventions team. They also sent a referral to CAMS, which was why Ethan got picked up. And also we were going through the ASD pathway with him. So that got rushed through because of how his mental health deteriorated. That's great. But why should it get to that point?
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
No.
And that's why I'm glad to hear that they are trying to put a lot more money into it and bring it up.
Yeah. I feel like in a way they're addressing the symptoms and not looking at what the actual cause of all these issues is.
Yeah. Ethan, he suffers a lot with anxiety. He's got a lot of social anxiety. We think when we've done like courses and stuff, because me and Dan have done different courses. So when we looked at it, it's a lot tied in with his autism.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes when they go to these things, they tailor the 6-week course or the 10-week course that they go where they see them on someone who's on like a generic thing. So they don't deal with like neurodiverse. It's just kind of like, oh, well, in a sense, no, it's not right, but like a normal person, this is how their mind works. But a neurodiverse child or adult works completely different.
But we were saying this last week about how fascinating their minds actually work.
Yeah.
You need, I mean, it's such a, I suppose mental illness is, or mental health is individual to each person as well. So such a minefield to try and deal with issues, because me and you could both have anxiety, we could both have social anxiety, but how we deal with it and how it affects us would be completely different.
Oh God, yeah.
So it must be so hard, especially with kids as well, who can't verbalise what they're going through and what they're feeling, for someone to try and help that kid.
Yeah, it's because the mind isn't developed either.
Yeah.
And like our Ethan is very intellectual, but social wise, maturity wise, He's not 16 in the head. He's more like a bloody 12-year-old.
They also don't have the words to put it in, or
No.
the emotional intelligence to put out
Yeah.
there and be like, I am feeling. I don't
Yeah.
know. They can do sad, happy, whatever, but they don't know the other words, the other describing words, the other to try and get it out there.
It's because it's very black and white. There's no grey area.
Yeah.
Like,
even for people that haven't got autism and stuff, though, it's still
yeah,
young kids.
Like empathy wise, they're not quite hard. And that's what we found triggered a lot of the mental health, was the immaturity of children nowadays as well.
Yeah. But here's an interesting fact for you. Again, off mind.org. This will get you. Women are more likely to have suicidal thoughts and more likely to try and commit suicide. But men are 3 times more likely to take their own lives.
Oh, I knew that meant, because I've just done a mental health, I've just done a suicide awareness course in work last week, and like it did say that men are like the highest bracket of taking their own lives, which shocked me, but then didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't with me because of how all these things, you see them on the telly, like men not speaking out and stuff.
Yeah, there's the mentality of, I'm a man and we don't talk about our feelings.
I'm just as guilty for doing it, and I know I've said this to you, and I don't mean it, but I go to you, oh, man up.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it. It's not like, because I'm the first, you want to come talk to me about anything, do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was like dating someone and they broke down crying on me over something, I would think that was so fucking attractive.
Yeah.
Like, be vulnerable type thing. But I've got to stop it. So now I do say woman up. No.
But you know, a pair of balls, man. Well,
that was it, wasn't it?
In this day and age, you can do now.
Emma's getting her cancelled. No, but you know, it is, and but that's from being younger than someone saying to us, "Oh man, up, stop it now."
Yeah.
But even being kids as well, and being told when you fall over and cut yourself or you hurt yourself, "Oh, come on, stop crying."
See, I always say, I'm dead guilty of saying to our kids, "Oh, stop being a girl, get on with it." And in fact, girls are probably stronger than boys. I was going to be a girl.
We've got bigger balls than most men. We just wear them on our chest.
Yeah.
Well. Anyway, moving on. So, mental health.
Yeah.
Years ago, you said, mental health, you said before that when you first realised you were having issues, problems, but I don't know what term to use there. Yeah. You didn't want to ask for help.
Yes.
Was that fear of being stigmatised or labelled?
I don't know. I think I've always had that thing, because I've got a brother who's schizophrenic. Yeah. My parents have gone through a hell of a ride. I couldn't even begin to try and explain the roller coaster our family has been on together when it comes to our Paul. And our Paul always feels guilty about that. And I said, but at the end of the day, it's not your fault.
Nope.
I mean, to a degree, maybe, the drugs and stuff. But when we've spoken to consultants and stuff like that, they've said that in people, it's there. Yeah. And it's whether it gets triggered or not. But Paul was unfortunate.
Well, with the addiction and stuff, which obviously we'll go into more, obviously when Osti was bad, I researched it, mainly because I couldn't sleep when he was here. And do you reckon it's a gene?
Well, like when we've been talking about it within like our wider family, because obviously like my mum was really bad. She went into a bit of a bout of depression. I've never known my mum to be depressed in my life, but that really, really hit her. My dad was working away. I was picking up the pieces in between. I was only 14.
Yeah.
So it was hard on all of us. So when it did start getting talked about within the family as years went by, and it got easier for my mum to talk to them, we found out that there's a chance her brother who lived in Germany possibly had it, because he had a partner and they had their own house each. That she owned land. He built a house for himself on her land, so that when he was having one of his moments, he'd go and live in his own house and he'd smash it up.
I think this woman's got it spot on.
And then when he calmed himself down, and sometimes because he used to drink. Room? Yeah, so when he
rage house,
when he was drinking, because he used to drink and he'd get very mouthy and very, like, a little bit angry and violent.
Isn't that one of the worst things a schizophrenic can do, though, to drink?
Yes. Our Paul he drinks, but he doesn't drink excessively anymore. He did do. And he did say that things to do with schizophrenia can trigger off other addictions, because he liked to take drugs and stuff like that. So they've taken that away from him. So now the body is craving for another addiction somewhere.
Yeah.
Some people go for like sugar, things like that. Our Paul went for alcohol because the alcohol numbs the voices, because he was having all these voices and all this stuff. He hadn't got his medication right, because it took about, before we got the proper diagnosis and the proper medication, I'd say it took about 10 to 12 years before they got it right.
Yeah.
And now they've got it right. I think he drinks twice a week, maybe 3 times a week.
You know, you say they've got it right. Is there a chance that it'll deteriorate or change over time? And they'll need to keep an eye on it in a way? Or is what now they've got it right, will that just be it solidly for life now?
Pretty much, yeah. But he has to take, because there's a lot of side effects to the drugs that he's on. The drugs that he's on are amazing. They're like a wonder drug. But there are side effects, because the tablet breaks down the white blood cells, which is what is used for your immune system. So he has to get tested for that every single month. If his blood cells are fine, then they'll issue him his medication. If there's a discrepancy in his bloods, then we're going to have a problem, because it might be that he might have to change medication. And at the moment, our Paul can function.
Yeah.
Which is what we want.
See, I know your Paul has always been able to function in the limited, because it's very limited times that I've spent around your Paul, which is mental when you think of how long we've known each other.
Yeah.
I've probably been around your Tony more than Paul.
Yeah.
Because your Paul was always in his room.
Yeah.
He always kept himself to himself, didn't he?
Yeah. And our Tony used to be down, like, he used to always come down, our two, with our Olivia.
Yeah. I always just knew him as, he was just your brother, even.
Yeah.
With I suppose the same with our Stephen and Dan with you, they're just my brothers.
Yeah.
And you are quite close to our Dan.
I'm closer to your Dan, yeah. I'm closer to your Dan than I was your Steve in the later years, but in the earlier years, we spent more time with your Steve.
Yeah. So when you'll go hold him, but again, we can go into all that on the addictions, like.
Yeah.
Because when we do that,
love to see him. I used to love seeing your Steve.
Yeah.
We used to have some really funny conversations. Probably ended up in him ripping the back out of me, like, but
usually. But yeah, that's it. When we do the addictions one, it's more our point of view of it and not someone with the addiction, isn't it? It's more how we lived with it. So, you openly admit that you've suffered with your mental health.
Yes, I am medicated this week, so I'm a lot calmer.
Emma's back on her meds.
Yeah, I'm back on my meds. Yeah, so I can put things into boxes, shall we say, so I can function, which is quite nice.
Do you? I think I'll word this. I'm just gonna word it.
Yeah, just say however. You can't offend me, you know that.
I know. You're on your meds now, it's fine. You're not likely to try and stab me either. Can you spot when someone else's mental health is slipping, and do you know the signs now to look for?
Yeah.
Are they quite obvious when you think about it, or?
Not always, no. I think it helps as well because I work in a mental health setting.
Yeah.
So, like if a patient is agitated, and he wants this medication, you can see how it's escalating.
The only reason I asked that is, again, I've never really suffered or had any mental health issues, and I was Googling before about different symptoms and signs, and when I was reading it, it was like withdrawing from people, not wanting to talk to people, being upset, and I was like, but I don't know that when I was grieving, I pull away from people.
I know, but grief is a mental.
But then I wouldn't say that I had a mental health problem or a mental health issue. But that's why I was asking, like, with people, now I'm sitting there, like, thinking, were people looking at me thinking, she's losing the plot? No. Or is that me just being paranoid, which again is a mental health issue?
No, well, you don't, just because you've withdrawn and you might be having problems at that time, doesn't mean you're batshit crazy. You'd like it.
Felt like I was going that way, though.
I know, but that's, at that moment in time, you were technically having a mental health issue. Not that you've got a problem.
Yeah. So there's
a difference.
Yeah.
So at that time, you're having like an issue, like a blip.
Yeah.
So you're having a mental health blip, and it's where your brain is like, this is getting too much. And that's fine. When you have like a mental health problem, that's when I feel you'd have to have medication.
So the way I like therapy. Pull myself out of the blips.
Yeah.
If I ever am unable to pull myself out of them, that's where I'd need.
I would say, yeah. I would. Like, I'm not a psychiatrist or nothing. I've just had a lot to deal with it, and I go for it myself every day.
Yeah. That's what I always say about this thing I'm doing. I'm not a counsellor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a coach, and I can do little bits of CBT, and I can do hypnotherapy, but I am not a counsellor in any way.
Yeah, I'm not a professional.
If anyone is struggling, reach out to someone that can help you.
Yeah. Do you know what? A lot of these things now, like you said, that mind.org.
Yeah.
Mind is an amazing charity.
Yeah.
It really is. And it covers a big range of things.
Yeah.
They're so helpful if you are stuck.
Yeah.
If you don't know where to turn. If you don't want to go to your GP, let's be honest. You need a letter from God to see a doctor nowadays.
What gets me with the doctors now is they diagnose you over the phone.
Yeah.
How? You don't know what my tonsils look like, if my tonsils are swollen or yellow or what? How can you? I don't get it. It's like when I was having the migraines when I was due on, when my hormones were all over the place. And I messaged you going, they've given me naproxen, and you're like, what?
Yeah, what have they give you that for?
And I'm like, yeah, and you're like, you don't even take paracetamol. I was like, yeah, they give me, I can't remember what strength it was now, and you were like, okay, how many did they give you? And I was like, 2 packs of 28, and you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they give you, it was 500 milligram naproxen. Now, I take tablets.
Yeah.
And I take migraine tablets, so my body is used to medication.
Yeah.
And they only give me 250 of naproxen. So why in the hell they gave you 500 when paracetamol generally knocks you out?
Yeah. My mum used to give me cocodamol. I'd be asleep for 12 hours.
There you go.
But yeah, it was like, because I remember what got me to message you when they give me another one for my stomach, because this naproxen could do something to my stomach, and I was like, what? And you were like, don't take them. Don't take them and try and drive.
No, you should be knocked out. You'd have a crash.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, you worked.
Yeah, I take the 250, and I know if I'm taking them, I'm sleeping for 12 hours.
Yeah,
and that's like, I do that when my back is really, really bad, and I'm out of it.
Yeah,
so there's just no point speaking to me when I'm on them.
But you know what was funny though? They gave me that. And I was like, okay, but why am I getting the migraines? Oh, we don't know. Can I have some tests done? Bear with us. Oh, yeah, your last blood test was 6 years ago, so yeah, you can. What does it matter if it was last week?
Yeah, they've got a thing about blood tests. I don't get it. If you've had a blood test in a year, they won't give you another one.
Well, it came back that my iron levels were low.
Yeah.
And my folate levels were low. But everything else was fine, and I was like looking at the nurse when she would tell me, like, told you. But I'm very much, I want to know what's causing something rather than just treat the symptoms. Because I can take the naproxen, but how do I know it's not going to come back in 6 weeks' time?
Yeah.
When I've took me 56 naproxens, which apparently are really addictive as well.
Yeah, they are. You're only supposed to take them. Yeah, they are. You're only supposed to take them, I think, 5 days maximum. It's like morphine.
Yeah, they were only meant to give you them in blocks of like 5 to 7, and they give me 2 bags of 28.
Must have thought you needed it, love. Oh, she needs a good sleep. We'll give her them.
I remember telling a few of the lads in the gym where I worked, and they were like, bring some of them in there, boss, for when you're there. And I was like, no, I am not dealing with tablets in the gym. Because they're anti-inflammatory, aren't they? So,
a secret pharmacist. We call it, you're not a dealer, you're a secret pharmacist.
But yeah, that was stuff. Because every time I get medication, I just message you, which is very rare, to be fair, because I don't really take it. I try not to take things if I don't need them. So your IBS, when that kicks off, does that affect your mental health as well?
Oh my God, yeah. Terrible. Because I go dead bloated. So it's the mental health side of, like, when my belly swells up, I look like I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, how fat do I look like? Then the body image sort of thing comes in, and then you've got that side of my mental health kicks off then.
Yeah.
What the hell do I look like? I'm quite lucky, whereas Dan doesn't bat an eyelid. And he's like, you look all right, you look lovely.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable, throw your trachea on. I'm just wearing this because I'm freezing today. So yeah, so there's that, and then there's the other side of things, because when my IBS kicks off, obviously you run in the toilet all the time.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. You don't want to go out, you don't want to go anywhere, and then you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really uncomfortable. So then your mental health deteriorates then, because then you're going back to the other side of it, where you're going into your depression mode then, where you don't want to leave the house. So even when your IBS passes, then you've got to get over the hurdle of, right, I've got to start going back out again now. I've got to start this again. And your anxiety kicks off.
Yeah.
For me. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Like,
that's the number one mental health issue, is depression and anxiety. Then it's generalized anxiety disorder, so GAD, GAD.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other. Oh, like PTSD and OCD. But the number one most deadliest mental health thing, this is what I was Googling. Mental health thing, that sounds bad. Mental health disease, believe it or not, it's anorexia. The deadliest one. That's most people die from that one.
Oh, wow. I would think it would be the hardest to overcome.
Anorexia nervosa, the deadliest one.
Wow.
You know what? Anything that stops you eating and drinking is going to be deadly.
Oh, yeah. But when you think of it as well, your body is going to start dying. It's going to be painful.
I mean, having a cousin that suffered massively from anorexia, and luckily she's beat it now and she's doing well. It's something she's going to fight with her whole life. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And it comes from someone making such a stupid comment about someone's weight or the way someone looks.
Yeah.
I don't think people realise comments that they make, flippant comments, can be so hateful or so stick with people for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that we all need to watch, because again, I can be just as guilty as doing it. And I'll say it jokingly, it might stick with someone.
You know, me and my mum were having this conversation, right, last week. You know, we went for our lunch.
We need to get your mum on this podcast.
So my mum was saying to me how she come from a big family. So she said if she walked down the stairs wearing something, she had sisters who would go, "Are you going out like that? Seriously?" And you go, "What do you mean?" "Well, I wouldn't wear them shoes with that dress." And you take it as constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because it's your family.
Yeah.
It's people you love. But then when you go outside and someone said the same comment, it would have a completely different effect. And my mum was like trying to say that nowadays there's no honesty within families, because people don't generally say that anymore because they're scared of hurting people's feelings. But then for it to come from someone who you love and you know it's not a malicious way, wouldn't that be better than having it said from someone outside?
Yeah, well, we grew up, and my dad was very much the same mindset as your mum.
Yeah.
The amount of times he took the piss out of us for certain things. But then you go to school and someone like, I had speech therapy when I was younger, and I know people probably notice on it when I say my R's sometimes, or words beginning with R's, it sounds weird. I remember being like 5 and getting a round of applause for saying rabbit instead of wabbit. Right?
I never knew that.
Did you not know that?
No,
I had speech therapy. And even now, you'll be aware of it now when I'm editing the podcast, and that's probably a lot of why I've never really liked to do reading out and stuff. But now I'm not arsed now. This is who I am. Yeah, as me all sounds different, but you know what? It's a quirk. Live with it. It's a you problem, not a me problem.
Yeah, it's a you problem.
But yeah, my dad used to, a nasty way when I say take the piss, but he'd be, and when you go outside and someone would say it, I'd be like, and what my dad says worse.
Yeah.
It gives you the thicker skin as well.
Yeah, it gives you the thicker skin. Like, I do say stuff to our kids, and Danny is worse than I am. Jesus, he's horrendous. And I always say to him, don't say that. You'll give him a complex. But then, like my mum and dad used to say, like, my mum is ruthless.
I don't know, I only get nice compliments off your mum.
My mum is ruthless.
Your mum loves me though.
With her comments.
She buys me more presents than you.
Yeah, she does. But she's like, she'll say stuff to me, and she's really harsh. But that, growing up, that helped a great deal, because I have massive confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know why it ever stopped. I don't know why I let a boy break that.
Because we all do it, Em.
Yes.
We all do it. We all let them break us at some point.
But now I'm 40, I just think, you know what, she's right. Like, she come in to me the other I come home from work, and she looked at me and she went, friggin' hell, haven't you brushed your hair this morning, Stacey? And I went, well, yeah, I did. A little bit this morning. And she went, I can't believe you've been to work like that. And like all day, people kept saying, because I don't know how I'd done my bun. Don't know how I'd done it. But it just looked like messy and it looked nice. And everyone was like, yeah, it looks nice. And then she comes out with, if you haven't brushed your hair, it's like, you've been in work like that all day.
She makes me
I was just like, okay.
I still call her Emma's mum.
Yeah,
I never call her by your mum, by her name.
Emma's mum.
Emma's mum. I do when she's round. I don't obviously call her Emma's mum to her face, but...
But my dad was a bit like that as well. But my dad was a bit more, I'd say he was a bit more like the way I am, where I'd be a little bit more delicate.
Yeah.
You've got to have a bit of tact sometimes.
Yeah, no, my dad didn't. My mum had a bit more tact than my dad.
Yeah.
My dad didn't. My dad was ex-military, so...
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you we've sent off to try and get his records?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it can take up to a year, though, because my Uncle Jimmy told us he's military, Army intelligence. So we hopefully will find some information out, which is exciting.
Oh, that would be brilliant. I love all that.
No, I just want a picture of him in his uniform.
Yeah.
We haven't got one. Apparently there was some, but an uncle's got them that no one speaks to or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But you'd be able to get it off the military.
That's what we're hoping for. I know they won't give us certain information.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, it's the military.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've sent everything off, so fingers crossed that we'll get some little bit of information back. Even anyway, completely off subject that.
I know, but that's brilliant.
Mental health. The kids do struggle a little bit more with bullying and stuff because I think we were pretty much sent out bulletproof.
Yeah, I do. I think mollycoddle our kids a little bit more. I certainly did with Ethan. Really did with Ethan. I think I tried to overcompensate a lot with our Ethan.
I was just going to say, everything that you went through with Ethan, with the court case and everything, and with that other idiot, yeah, you did. But that's not a bad thing either.
I overcompensated a lot, but and I protected him a lot. But I think Elijah's a totally different entity. You don't really need to protect him. And so sometimes I'll say stuff to Elijah and he'll be like, oh, wow, have you just said that to me? Oh, yeah, get on with it. So I'm trying to be a little bit more tough with him. But then on the other side of things, I do take that time out. And when I can see that he's struggling and we have like mum and son time, and usually it's like before bed.
Yeah.
On occasions it'll be like, oh, shall we go for a little walk? And while we're walking, he'll talk to me and he'll tell me.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I don't mind like picking him up. Like last week, I picked him up from school after being at my mum's, and we walked home. Yeah. And then on the walk home, tells you everything. So he'll tell me things like he won't tell you at home, like how his day was, like what had happened at school, if he's been upset at any time.
Yeah.
So Ethan had took him upstairs to play yesterday, and they were playing together till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it wasn't until we got showered and I was putting him to bed, and I was like, so what's going on? And he was like, teachers give me a speaking part in this play, and it annoys me because the school knows it's not something new, that if you put him forefront where he's going to be doing something, he'll be off that day because he'll be that anxious, he'll just be vomiting. Also, if it's not part of the curriculum, why make him do something he doesn't want to do? Exactly. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a maths test. He has to do a maths test. Yeah. Does he have to be a speaking part in the school play? Exactly. And they do class plays. Yeah. And I was like, well, did you tell her? Because he was all excited telling me, I've volunteered to be in the play. And I was like, oh my God, have you? That's amazing. Because he wouldn't put himself forward for that. But he was like, yeah, I'm going to be a knight or something, or a guard with one of his other friends. Yeah. And they've got to wear like centurion type gear and take someone down into a dungeon. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And he was like, don't have to talk, Mum. But then he said to me, the teacher said, does anyone feel anxious getting up? And he said, I didn't put my hand up because I do get anxious, don't I, Mum? And I went, yes, so you shouldn't put your hands up.
Also, she shouldn't be asking that though.
Yeah, she asked it in front of the
in
whole
that front of the whole class. Shouldn't she have gone round individually to the kids? Because again, no kid's going to put their hands up and single themselves out.
Nope.
I mean, it can't be that different to when we were in school. I would never have put my hand up, and you just don't.
No, our teachers used to know.
Yeah.
But they should have had a handover.
Yeah.
I sat with the headmistress at the end of last year. It was like the last week of the term, and went through everything. I was there for like 2 hours.
You know what? I'm all for.
And then this has happened.
I'm all for pushing the kids a little bit.
Yeah.
And out the comfort zone, I am. But there's a line you've got to watch.
But it's like he's put himself to come out of that comfort zone himself.
Yeah.
Which I was so proud of him. And now he's gone right back again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to do some work with him again.
You saying where you go for a walk with Elijah then and talk to him, that it is actually a thing called walking therapy.
Oh,
and it's because it's the distraction.
Ah.
It's the same as if we went for a drive now. We'd end up, well, we talk anyway, it doesn't bother us, but sometimes you go for a drive with someone, he'll start telling you more because you're not actually looking at each other. You're not sitting like we are face to face now. It's a distraction. You're doing something else, but you're still talking and you're still listening. It's walking therapy, and it's actually really good therapy to do.
Funnily enough, I do the driving one with Ethan. He's got his orthodontic appointment coming up, and hopefully, he gets he's got elastic bands in his mouth.
Oh.
So his mouth can only open so far. Because his jaw has grown so much, they've got to pull the braces back round.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because the amount of times my mum said, I wish we could wire your mouth shut. And I just think that's what just came to mind.
Yeah, so we've got that, and it's in Hunts Cross.
Yeah.
So we drive, it's just me and him that only ever go. So we drive to Hunts Cross, and then coming back, I always go the motorway way to get there because it's quicker. Coming back, we come the Sena Cruise. So the Sena Cruise is like down Otter's Pool, down that way. Now, before you, I think it's after you come past Otter's Pool, before you get by the Leo Casino, there's a building there, and it's like a garage. It's called Willy Wipers.
I've seen it. I knew exactly which one you were on, and I am still a child. I take these to Otter's Pool, and coming back, I look for it. And there's a van that goes around sometimes as well.
It's called Willy Wipers.
It's the little man, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the little man with his little hand like waving. Me and our Ethan just howl at it each time.
Listen, I'm the child that sees 69% on my battery and still thinks it's hysterical. I am. No, we don't grow up, do we?
No, just you've got to have an element of silliness. So yeah, so we have that, and that always like.
I didn't get any inboxes.
I'll be your Willy Wiper.
No, again, no. I've just realised as well. My big cousin Andrew has just texted and said he's listening to that one now. I'm getting beat up. Next week we'll be from Lindsay's hospital bed.
we will be racing the food and service. So we have that, and that's like by the time we get from Hunts Cross to there, we've had quite an in-depth type conversation. So by the time we get to Willy Wipers, it's like then we laugh and the tension's broke and we have fun on the second half of the journey home. So by the time we get home, Ethan looks lighter, and
you can tell you've done therapy because you always leave it on a positive note. That's one of the first things they teach you.
Yeah. Always
leave it on a positive note. Honestly, I can't wait to get my teeth proper stuck into this therapy sessions with people. So excited. Could do I with PT and get you to do PT and then
do talking therapy because the heads up there.
Their head's not yours. I noticed that, yeah.
Their heads.
Last time me and Emma trained together was probably year 11 PE.
Yeah, I think it was. Told you I will never let you train me because I want to stay friends.
There's a reason I get called a bitch when I train people.
I know.
I often question my mental health when it comes to training. 1,000 calories on the assault bike.
That was a fun day. I remember my mum coming, she went, "Why is she doing that?" I mean, I have no idea, Mum.
She brought me Haribo and Lucasade. I was like, this is why she's my bestie. That was, yeah.
But then the other thing to do with mental health is the positive way, how to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I googled what was mental health before because I always just thought it was like depression and stuff, and it's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. I didn't realize it was all three tied in.
Yeah, that's why the anxiety is a minefield, because you have your general, which is your GADS, and that usually says, do you want to, how do you feel going out on a scale of 1 to 10? Like when you do therapy, they have a GAD questionnaire, but that's what they gauge, don't you?
Yeah.
That's how you gauge it. But I also have now, because I have social anxiety and then I have a social phobia.
Yeah.
So I didn't realise, I just thought it was the GAD and that was it.
No, that's the general one, isn't it? And then you get your specific ones then.
Yeah, it was like, that's been a bit of a minefield for me. I was like, oh.
Do you know what I did want to ask, right? So you said before you didn't want to ask for help when you first realised you were having problems.
Yes.
Do you find that now people, because it felt to me like no one wants to ask for any help when you were having the problems, and then all of a sudden there was like a big craze and everyone seemed to have depression or anxiety or now I'm not saying a lot of people were like, but there was some people that I know that said they had anxiety and didn't.
Yeah.
Do you think now though people are not asking for help as much again because there's like people think that they're making it up because so many people did make it up?
Possibly. It's gone the other way.
Yeah. So you've had people not wanting to ask for help because there was a big stigma attached to it. That stigma got lifted in a way.
Yeah.
People being people abused it. So now there's another stigma attached to it as being, well, you're making that up, you can't really have it because...
Yeah. Because it's a fad.
Yeah, because it's a fad, because it's a trend, because it's on TikTok, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what my worry is now, is people stopping asking for help again.
Yeah, I think, because there is that thing, isn't it, where the professionals might look at them and be like, are you just saying that because some famous so-and-so has said that?
Yeah.
But then you're like, no, I'm really struggling.
Yeah. I suppose that's why they have all these questionnaires and people trained to do it and stuff, and your psychologists and your...
But yeah, there probably is some element there where they'll be like, I'll not ask them because they'll think I'm making it up.
Yeah.
Because everyone's doing it and everyone's doing this.
I was just thinking about that before because it's quite like, I know a lot of people that don't like asking for help anyway.
Yeah.
And then to have that extra stigma on it as people are going to think I'm lying.
Well, I've got to be honest, the phone call to my doctor didn't come from me. It was my mum. My mum phoned the doctor on my behalf. So I didn't technically ask for help. It was just, I was on the floor.
Yeah.
So my mum was just like, not a chance. Here we go.
But your mum's recognised the signs in a way from Paul.
Yeah, sure. But I'm quite close with my mum, so I tell her probably more than you probably would tell your mum. She come into the delivery room when I had Ethan, and she said she didn't realise I knew as many obscenities as I did. She said I felt like there was a docker giving birth. The amount of language coming out of your mouth.
I bet she was weirdly proud though as well. How could she be shocked when you were the daughter of a builder?
I don't know. And me and my dad are quite close as well, to be fair. Like, me and my dad share our own little jokes and stuff. He's a little pain in the backside because I was going to buy my mum a book for her birthday and he's gone out and bought the book when I told him.
I was on that whale of books the other day and I found like another 6 books I need, but I've still haven't read the last 6 books that came through.
See, I'd love to be going on, because when you showed me it and I was saying to Dan about it and I was like, you seen this? And he went, more bloody books. He said, your mother brings you about 3 a week. Oh. And I was like, I know, I should have a bookcase. I used to have a bookcase years ago, but I can't fit it in this house. So my books are all over the bedroom.
I did have a bookcase and then I decided that I was going to go for the minimalist look and dumped everything, charity shopped it all. And now I've decided I want my books back. And if you look, I'm starting to build them back up again. But it's the most mad collection of books. You've got like I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is about the Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
Then it goes to a hypnotherapy one, and it goes to one called Lucy's Law, which is about a dog's law. And then I don't know what else. Oh, the Diary of a CEO's on there as well.
Yeah.
But then my Kindle's even worse. You've got like freaking Aunt Middleton's. You've got that Ollie Ollerton's ones I was saying about last week.
Oh yeah.
Then you've got like the Shopaholics ones. I absolutely love them. Have you seen them? They're a movie as well.
No, I didn't really.
Then you've got true crime ones. One of them set in Liverpool as well. I'll have to give you that one.
Well,
Read by that Warren Brown. Do you know who he is? He's an actor.
Name rings a bell.
Yeah, he reads the books. So I'll tell you the name of the book. Like, they're on my Kindle. But yeah, it's like my bookcase probably sums up how my mind works. I think there's one about camper vans down there too.
Yeah, I was going to say there'll be something on camping somewhere.
No, camper vans.
Oh, camper vans.
Yeah, Volkswagen ones.
Yeah.
Don't need ones on camping. I've been doing that since I was like 5. Well, 8. Close enough. But yeah, I don't even know how we're talking about books. Why are we talking about books? Oh, that was it. I've got a CBT for kids book. I'll have to lend you it. But yeah.
Well, we've started doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 going into school, which is brilliant. And there's other things as well. I've got to print it out though. My printer unconnected for some reason. It's getting on my nerves. So if something's doing my head in, see, that's my mental health. I just go wall gone.
See,
out.
I'm the opposite. I will fixate on it until it's fixed. Until I can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Wendy's definitely ADHD. She is thinking about getting tested because all her mates have ADHD as well.
Oh, do they?
And I was in our Wendy's the other day. Do you say about ADHD and leaving the cupboard door open? Well, apparently if you don't shut cupboard doors and that stuff properly because you've moved on to something else already.
Oh, yeah.
I walked in her kitchen and just went ding, ding, ding with every cupboard door because they were open. I had to shut them all. Well, ADHD isn't actually classed as a mental health disorder. I've got something else I Googled before. Hey, this Google thing's good. You should try it. It's been around a while now. It's not autism and it's not Asperger's either. It's a different thing on its own.
Well, they've got now the autism. Like, they've always had the spectrum, but now they have the autism umbrella, and they've put dyslexia, Asperger's, ADHD. What was the other one?
Isn't that just like another label for people though?
There's another one, and they put it all under the same umbrella. Now Asperger's isn't known as Asperger's anymore. It's known as DSM-11. And it's like, it's Asperger's, because they don't class Asperger's as its own thing anymore. It's just an autism.
Too easy to do that though.
You can't do that because there's a spectrum level for a reason. It's like ADHD. There's 2 different types of ADHD. There's ADHD where everything's all in the head and it's all ticking away and clocking away, and you look like you're away with the fairies, which is generally what I'm like. And you're quite emotionally detached. Whereas you've got an ADHD where you're outgoing and you're out there and you're talking all the time and in people's faces and there's 2 different types of ADHD. How can you class that in the same thing as someone who has Asperger's? They're all a different thing. It's all classed as mental health. With Asperger's, you find that depression and anxiety goes hand in hand with Asperger's children. They're very like introvert.
Yeah.
That's not the same as an ADHD. I don't get how they work it.
I never really looked into mental health because I've never really had, well, turns out I may have had a few issues after. But it's never been something I've had to look into in depth, to be fair. But obviously with the addiction and stuff, and my mum growing up, the more I'm looking into it, and especially doing the coaching and the life coaching and that, it is something that I can imagine would be so hard to try and put a label on anyone.
Yeah.
I get why people want a diagnosis. Why label people all the same? Let people have their own diagnosis of what it is. Because like I said before, me and you can both have the same thing, but we'll deal with it completely different.
Yeah. It's like, why put a generic label on it?
Yeah,
because everyone is an individual.
Yeah. And then I think as well, so you said it's a minefield of people trying to deal with it, because does anyone actually know the ins and outs of it all?
No. Joe, if just the human brain fascinates me. It completely blows me away, the things, because I only touched on it when I'd done my diploma.
Yeah.
And it was like finding out you've got part of your brain that's stored different things, and your brain can just dispose of something if you don't want it.
You were saying this last week.
It's so bizarre.
But you know what else is so bizarre? If when you're sitting there and someone will say, and it triggers that memory from, like I had a memory the other day talking to our Wendy on the phone when we were kids. Not thought about it in all this time. Being on a bouncy castle in my nan's house. My nan's back on, trying to tip the bouncy castle. Come from nowhere. Where was that stored in my brain?
Yeah.
Honestly, we all used to stand one side of the bouncy castle and try and tip it. Like we'd all just run to one side of it. But where was that stored in my brain for me to even bring that? Because we weren't even, can't remember what we were talking about for that just to pop up. She must have said something to trigger it.
Yeah.
But the brain does fascinate me. The whole human body does, to be honest, because you've got your gut as well, which is classed as your second brain, your gut instinct.
Yeah.
Always listen to that, to your second brain. But then, if you think about it, what you're eating is going to affect that. So you've got your gut health massively affects your brain.
Yeah.
Massively affects how your body works.
Mm-hmm.
So it all comes down to just looking after yourself in general, eating the right foods and doing the right things. And
because that's another thing, like with your mental that affects your mental health is what food you eat.
Yeah, because it's your gut is linked to everything.
To everything, which is totally bizarre when you think about it.
I just love the way your body works. It always has fascinated me, even like in school. The heart does this, so the lungs can do that, so this can do that, do this, and you're just like, just mental. It does it without you even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But your brain, the brain, and the gut, the connection between that is just fascinating. It's all your nervous system and your belly making things.
Yeah, my belly's telling you. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's your nervous system as well. You've got to watch that nervous system. You've got to get that chilled. That's fight or flight.
Yes.
Or fight, flight, or fawn. I have spent far too much time in my fight.
And that exhausts your brain.
It's mad the way it's all linked. Again, I'm not an expert in it. I'm not even going to pretend I am at the minute. I'm learning and doing all about it. But looking back, and obviously I've had to, in what's gone on in the last 10 years, I've had to be in fight.
Yeah.
In fact, more than that, what's probably gone on in the last 15 years, I've had to be in fight.
Yeah.
But we're learning now to be more...
To let the wall down a bit.
Yeah, and just to relax and just be like, it's okay. You can relax. You haven't got to be on guard all the time. It does feel better, like. But I know at any given moment, I'll be like, whoa, let's go.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Does mean I'm a pushover? No. I've taught myself that, do I need to deal with what so-and-so down the road saying, or can I just walk away from it? Is it really important?
Yeah. Does it really matter?
Yeah.
My mum always says, does it affect your life right now? And I always go, no. And she went, so what are you asked for?
Yeah.
It's like with like toxic people. Because that's another thing that affects your mental health. It's like friendships, toxic people. As my mum says, does this person contribute to your life? If the answer is no, then why did they?
You know this for yourself. Last year, years before, my cousin was getting married. And she made me a maid of honour. Purely because she said she wanted me to be, and that was great, but that was the only reason I was at that wedding. Not because I don't love our Soph, I do.
Yeah.
I knew I'd have to be around that family.
Yeah.
That side of the family, my mum's family. And in the lead up to that, how many times did I phone you crying because of stuff they were saying?
Yeah.
Because I'd let them back in.
Yeah.
Looking back now, and knowing what I know now, they were affecting my mental health.
Yeah, it was. You weren't in a very good place.
No. I was ill in the lead up to that wedding. I was really ill.
Yeah, you were. And I was angry.
I was like...
And I said to you I was going to go with you.
Yeah. I was physically ill. I was testing positive for COVID. And I never got sick all the way. I don't get sick.
No.
And it was the lead up to that wedding. And don't get me wrong, I love being a maid of honour. I was so proud to be a maid of honour, and I had the loveliest day, apart from being absolutely exhausted. But it was a lovely day. But straight away after that wedding, I cut them all off.
Yeah.
And look at the difference. Within a few weeks, I was back to normal. And that's why when Steve passed away with his funeral, I quickly cut them all off afterwards.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't even let them back in.
I was just going to say, you didn't even let them in, to be fair.
Yeah, they stayed on the outskirts. I didn't let them back in.
You spoke to them through a window. But, so to speak.
But yeah, looking back, that would have been affecting. Like, it is. Yeah. We touched on this with friendships, how much the people around you affect your mental health.
Oh God, yeah. It's a massive minefield. But you can do things to help. So there's like, make sure you eat well. Exercise, and by that, just get out and go for a walk. Yeah, you don't even have to go on a bloody treadmill or do burpees. So
we're going to get outside, we're going to walk, we're going to do some type of exercise, eat well, be kind to yourself, which I'm saying like I do on a regular basis.
You're pointing at me like, be kind. All right, Linz.
I shout at you a lot on these podcasts, don't I?
Are you all right?
I'm not kind to myself. Why should you be? No, I am. I try to be. I am better at it now.
You're much better at it now.
I don't get as hard on myself when I am having the down days. and be like, oh, what are you feeling like this for? I do go, okay, this is allowed. Go get a bath, go get a shower, go get whatever, do whatever. Yeah. Go for a walk, eat well.
Yeah.
Do a bit. No. And I am a little bit kinder to myself now.
Yeah, and even if that for that one day that you feel, or 2 days where you just feel shit, sit there, watch the crap on the telly you want.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this. You put this in the group with me and Sam the other day.
What?
Married at First Sight. Really?
I love it. It's like my guilty pleasure. I've even got my mum watching it, and my mum never watches crap. Me and her have been watching it. She was like, she says, I watch it and spends an hour shouting at the telly. Because she said, they're so friggin' stupid. And I was like, I know. But I love it. They've got this couple on it, and the lads from...
You're not going to convince me. Stop looking at me like you're going to convince me.
There's a lad on it he's a Geordie. He's from Newcastle. But when he was younger, he was like, I think he was like, I can't remember. I don't know whether he said 19 or something like that. But he ran away and joined the circus. But me, I was just like, sure off, he actually joined the circus.
He's cool.
And yeah, and he's got like a static caravan. He lives in a static caravan in the woods, like not woods, but he's got his own little bit of land. But he's put like a veranda on it and extended it out. Oh, Linz, you'd have to see it. It's good. Built it himself, and I was like, oh, and he's like 2 foot nothing, and he always says like, me height, and he's like, but I don't care. Like he's got it.
So he's a hobbit and lives in the woods.
Oh no, he's so cool.
Sorry.
But the girl that he got paired with is like quite eccentric, which turns out to be good because he wanted to know if the girl had a good sense of humour. So when he married her, he put fake teeth in, and they were like dead goofy, yes, over his mouth. And she's like looking at them like you could see the look of mortification.
I've seen the thing on the there was a meme on it. There was a meme or something was on Facebook.
And he took it out.
Oh, she was there crying, wasn't she?
Went, I'll have to take this out. You look really mortified. She went, oh my god, your teeth are gorgeous. But they were like laughing their heads off.
I was like, been on a date with someone and they've had bad teeth and I didn't go back on a date with them. No, I did.
But these were like pure gappy.
Yeah, I've seen the
ones. Yeah, and I was just like, but then they just fell about laughing, and I just thought, yeah, I love that. But then there's some of them on there which you think you're only on there because you think you're gonna get fame.
Yeah, I don't like them programs anyway because, as I said before, I am a hopeless romantic, and I feel like it just ruins what marriage and that should be.
No, but they're not getting actually married. They don't call it a married, like we're getting married anymore. They say it's a commitment ceremony. Yeah. So they do get a wedding ring, yeah. But it's like a commitment to themselves. And then at the end of it all, if they still want to stay together, they can.
Yeah.
And if they actually want to get married, they actually marry them with a minister.
I don't know. Like, I'm just, you know what I'm like? It's just,
yeah.
I'm dead. I didn't realise until this year how old-fashioned and traditional I actually am when it comes to relationships and dating. And
but there's a fella on there who's deaf. He's like massive. His name's Ross, and he's so lovely. He's got a little girl, and the girl that he got paired with, she said she's celibate, but they said what did they say last night? It's not celibacy, it's something else, because she's only doing it until she finds the right person.
Yeah.
She was worried all the way through like their wedding about him seeing her when she's getting undressed, and she said, is he expecting us to share a bed tonight? And she was so worried about it. So when they walked off to talk and she said about it, and he said, oh yeah, I did get told you're celibate. What is that for? And she was like, I've been really hurt in the past. And he went, oh, I can get that. He went, I'll sleep on the couch, I'm not bothered. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Well, my dream of my firefighter that I keep dreaming I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
Apparently they dream the same dream within like every day for 3 days.
Well, my mum's getting a chimney swept, and she said as soon as she sweeps the chimney, she's going to light it. The last time she set it on fire.
I'm coming round to you, Mum.
So...
I'm not obsessed with firemen, by the way. Well, I am, but... No, well, who isn't? They never look like they do on the telly, though.
Firemen never really did it for me. I like policemen, where they had the batons and they were a bit more...
Do you not like the hoses now? You're more baton type of girl.
I'm more 50 Shades.
You're more handcuffs.
Anyway. Younger years.
How do we go from mental health to this?
I said sex is good for the mental health.
I'm
releases
fucked.
endorphins.
Not literally, unfortunately. There's that thing, saying without thinking again. It's my cousin that listens to this. I'm so sorry. What filter? No. But yeah, well it is because it's a form of exercise.
Yes, but it releases endorphins into the brain as well. It's like a chemical reaction.
Well, it can be a form of exercise. Sometimes it's just
yeah.
Wouldn't know. Be not long. No. It is a form of exercise. Plus.
Oh my god.
You do know I'm not editing any of this out. Stay in. Plus, like, if you think about it as well, though, it must be, and it is because obviously you said the endorphins and stuff, but also it's the connection, isn't it?
Yeah. As you say, the social. What was it?
Social? How many? What the fuck? Social? Is it a social event?
Well, you go talking it is.
Physical connection.
That's it.
And I suppose the mental connection sometimes as well.
Oh.
Why are you going talking? You ever been talking?
No, I just kept it.
I was going to go, should we go tomorrow?
I was just thinking of Peter Kay's car share. Don't even know where that popped in from.
Oh my god. But you were going to share something with us? Yeah, I go jogging. It's really good for your mental health.
I suppose it's a social event.
This is why Emma never plans nights out. I take us to the comedy club, Emma takes us jogging.
Oh god.
Oh my god, Emma. Do you know what else is really good for your mental health?
What?
Getting your best mate round to do a podcast and never staying on topic. Zac Efron last week, jogging this week. Ooh, jogging with Zac Efron. What? No. Do you see my mind connect the dots then?
Yeah.
So yeah, mental health. Obviously, we've just been talking about what it is and the bad bits, but there's a good side to it as well, though, isn't it? Like when your mental health's positive and you're feeling good.
Yeah.
How much more you can get done.
I think when your mental health is on a high, you can do things like this. You can talk about it. You can address issues, because when you're in like a slump and a down bit, you don't want to address the fact you've got it, to be honest.
It's very like you're in a bubble.
Yeah. And then when you come out of the bubble and you can actually address the fact that, no, I'm gone, I do have this problem. This is what it is. This is life. And then when you're in that positive side of it, that's when you start planning things. So like I say, I plan my CBT and I plan all like these little things that will help me for when you go into that slump. You can prepare.
On a Sunday, I'll sit and I've got it Microsoft to do, and I'll plan what my week's gonna look like.
Oh,
because
that's good.
I love lists and organising and like all that anyway. But our Wendy actually does it, and she does suffer with mental health, and it's because it keeps her on track then, because she will then live by the plan rather than an emotions.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Whatever happens, she knows she's got to get up and do this work. She's got to get up and do that. She's got to get up and do that, rather than how am I going to feel when I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
But that's because she's obviously a single mum of 2 kids, full-time job, about to start uni, because she's also superwoman. It's a thing in our family. We think we can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, we've been proven a few times that we can. But yeah, so I've started doing it. Slightly different reasons to hear. Yeah. It does work. And on Microsoft to do, when you tick it off, it makes a boss little noise as well. Like, ka-ding! And you're like, but yeah.
I do love like the little things that do like that, because when you do Google Maps and you say, and you click on it to go home, and it goes, welcome home, and you come outside. I love that.
Oh, I love it. I have Monzo bank account.
Oh yeah.
And when someone pays money and it goes, and it's like the sound of cash going in, I'm like, I like that sound. Yeah, it is funny little things like that though.
I think mental health surrounds everything. I think you don't realise it as we've gone like the friendship side of things, toxic friendships, toxic relationships, family. there's lots of elements where you can which affect your mental health.
Even the first one we done, the very first podcast we done, which was confidence.
Yeah, your confidence, your body image, yourself.
Yeah.
You can be your biggest support, but you can also be your biggest critic.
Yeah.
It's how you deal with that.
Well, that's what I do as a life coach, and with me hypno and my CBT, is get you from being your biggest critic constantly to being your biggest supporter, to being your biggest advocate.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about. Because I know I've been my worst critic at some time.
Yeah.
Like, you've sat here with me and you've been like, I want you to see how I see you. And I'm like, no. I'm never, as we said in the other one, I'm never going to be the most confident person in the room. I've accepted that.
Yeah.
But
that's good that you've accepted that.
Yeah. But I am a lot better than where I was anyway. And I'm happy with the level of confidence. I can walk in and talk to anyone now. I'm not going to walk in and go, hey, I'm here. But I'll walk in and have conversations with people.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think most people appreciate that more.
Yeah.
And go and go, hi, I'm here. And they just go, oh my God.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Quiet confidence.
Quiet confidence, like we said. And that's come from the life coaching, from the hypno, from the CBT.
Yeah.
And obviously it sounds like I am promoting myself. And I am. Because you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Again, the confidence.
Yeah.
I would never. It works. And I will happily help anyone that needs the help.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's the self-confidence, the toxic relationships, grief is a mental health.
Yeah.
But it's a mental health issue, not problem.
Yeah.
And we've got that the right way around.
Yeah.
Because it's a blip.
Yeah.
So I prefer calling it's a blip.
And you know
it's
what?
Not going to permanently.
I found the worst thing with grief was, and still is, obviously, I'm going to be grieving the rest of my life. I know this from my mum and everything. I will have a bad day because work hasn't gone right. Or, I don't know, I've stumped my toe. Something silly.
Like a trigger.
Yeah. And I'll phone someone and be like, I'm having a bad day. Oh, you're bound to though, you're still grieving. No.
Yeah.
It's the term like used with umbrella term. Oh yeah, she's having a bad day. It'll be because she's grieving. No,
it's because I'm just having a really shit day.
And obviously, if I sit there and let myself dwell on it, I do start going, I've hurt my toe. Well, my mum's not used to laughing at me. And you do.
It spirals.
It can spiral, but I can catch it so it doesn't. But sometimes I'm just having a shitty day. Sometimes I've just trapped my hands in the door.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, I hate myself a lot. I actually do, to be fair. I'm just clumsy. Mm-hmm. But I just hate when people presume that they know what's going on in someone else.
Yeah. Just listen.
Yeah. Like if you, basically listen. And it's when you go, no, it's the grief. No, I'm telling you. Well, it's not.
When you text me and you say, oh, I'm having a really crap day today, and I go, why, what's happened? Or why, what's the matter?
Yeah.
I wouldn't automatically assume that it's that.
Yeah.
But then you'll tell me what's the matter. And then I can speak to you.
Because the last couple of times hasn't been to do with grief. It's been other issues that I've had to deal with, and they might sound silly to someone else, but that's one thing I'll give you: never make them, even if it is silly. And like afterwards, I'll sit there and be like, "Why was I upset over that?" You never make them feel like the little issues
because they seem big to you.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what anyone thinks to you. That's what's hurting you at that time.
Yeah, but there is certain people that go, "It's only so many months since your brother." Yeah, I know. And do you know what? If I was grieving him, which I obviously do, but not today, not right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sad because, I don't know, whatever reason. I don't want to say.
Yeah.
I'm sad because of whatever reason. And obviously, it just annoys me when people just don't listen. I would never dream of you messaging me and you being like, I'm having a bad day with me social anxiety. And I'll be like, oh, it's not. It's because of this. You'd be like, no,
it's your social anxiety, Linz.
Like, no, it's not. No. But yeah, I think that's a big thing everyone can do for other people. Listen to them.
Yeah, don't assume.
And don't listen to reply. Just listen. So many people listen and wait just for their turn to talk back. They're not actually listening to what's getting said. I know, we can do it when we get excited. I know we do. I'll say something and then you'll be like, yeah, but Linz, this.
Yeah.
And it's when it happens, but if it's a serious thing, like now I know that you're actually listening to everything I'm saying. When you first come in before and we're like, blah, 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 like, it's different then, but just listen.
Yeah.
Listen when it's needed. Yeah.
And not every conversation requires a reply.
Yeah.
Or an opinion.
Yeah. Just sometimes they need you just to listen.
Just to listen.
And then put the kettle on. Tell them it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah.
Because normally that's what I need. Normally it's like, I'm feeling like this. Why am I feeling like... That's okay. You're allowed to feel sad.
Right.
Yeah. And that's normally what I need to hear.
Mm.
Or just someone to go, I've felt that in the past too. Not that you need the validation, but it's always nice to know that I'm not the only one.
Yeah. It's the understanding.
Yeah, which is massive. Mm-hmm. So people need to walk outside, get fresh air, eat well, listen to other people.
Yeah.
Tell people how you're feeling.
Yeah. And don't feel bad for feeling bad.
There we go. We've solved mental health. Imagine.
And if you want any information, as you said, Google is amazing.
Yeah.
NHS does have some good like little bits and pieces on there, but the charities like Mind is brilliant.
I was just going to say, when I went on before, I just put in what is mental health, and then the amount of stuff that comes up, you've got to be careful what you're looking at on there as well.
Yeah.
So stick to the well-known charities, stick to your NHS, your Mind.org, whatever, I don't know many other ones to be honest. Stick to them ones because they're more than likely to be
helpful
and the most helpful.
And if you're looking for, but even CAMS, because CAMS are as adults, and they have children's. Now you don't have to actually be on a CAMS caseload to look at their website.
Yeah.
And their website have so much information and so many numbers of this. The Samaritans, for instance, are supposed to be amazing. If you're really struggling, they can put you in the right direction. Citizens Advice, if you're having mental health worries over like money or just advice on maybe housing, anything like that, they can help you with as well.
You know what I'd say if you're having money issues? Ring the companies, because about a year, 2 years ago, I was struggling a little bit money-wise. Couldn't do me car insurance, so I phoned them up and said, listen, I'm not going to be able to make this month's payment. They were like, we're going to have to, like, I was getting emails through saying, okay, from the 27th, your car insurance is gone then.
Mm.
So I phoned them. I was like, is there anything we can do? Yeah, can you pay so much and then we'll add the rest on for the rest of the year? And I was like, well, yeah, I can do that. And I think I paid 20 quid and then the rest got added on over the course of the year. But it was like 9 payments, so it didn't make much difference.
Yeah.
These companies want to help you because, to be honest, they want your money any way they can. So just ring up and...
The Citizens Advice are brilliant and they will point you in the right direction. I did find with credit card companies, because I've been in a little bit of a sticky situation with them, I put my head in the sand. I was like an ostrich. I always do. And it just come to a point where I had to sort something out.
Yeah.
I've gone to an outside debt collectors agency and I phoned them thinking, like I was dreading it. Because my own anxiety anyway.
Can't pay, they'll take it away.
Oh, yeah. And it was just like, oh my God, these are just going to absolutely have a go at me here. And they were so understanding. It was unreal.
Yeah. And they are. Well, that programme, I do love that programme, by the way.
Can't pay, we'll take it away.
How lovely are they on that?
Yeah.
And the grief they get, and you're like, they're doing the job. But I think it's emotional. Yeah. And you see them helping them so many times. I know we said before about with the mental health as well, about not getting an appointment at your doctor's. But if you can't and you're really struggling, I would go down my doctor's and sit in their waiting room until they got me help.
Yeah. But you can also go to, I think now they're starting to place mental health people within the walking centres.
Yeah, I was going to say that walking or even A&E, just go to A&E.
A&E is like, your...
Would it work walking into a police station and going, I need help with that? I suppose they can point you in a direction somewhere then.
Yeah, I don't know how it works with police. If you're going to be a danger to yourself or people around you, I think they do.
What about for walking to a fire station? No.
But yeah, apparently walking centres are going to have based in them mental health teams. That's the goal.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like we said before, we're not counsellors, we're not psychologists, we're not
professionals in any way, shape or form in that area.
But as you can tell, we're really good at talking, and sometimes we do listen.
Yeah.
But we make a mean brew. So if you do want to reach out, like we said before, the Instagram's there, Forever _the_Optimist. Lindsey_pod, or you can use my one, which is Lindsey_McKenna84. Just reach out, talk to us about anything, or even if you've got any questions, especially about the big addictions one that's coming up next week. Yeah, that's going to be a big one. But just a heads up for that, we will be completely raw and honest, and it may be emotional for either of us.
Yeah, it might. It's not going to be.
Ain't going to be pleasant.
No.
But there will still be our weird warped sense of humour in there. But yeah, in that case, I think the only thing left to do is, what are you grateful for this week?
I'm grateful for this.
For the what?
For the podcast and you.
Oh.
I'm grateful for for you setting this up and asking me on it, because it means that I get to see you every week.
Oh, she's gonna make me cry. No, she actually is. What the fuck?
You daft cow.
I never used to be emotional, did I?
No. Well, yeah, I am.
The funny thing is, if I cry, she's gonna go.
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at Lily.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm
So what are you grateful for?
I feel like I say you know. No. Do you know what? I'm grateful for finally feeling like my life's moving forward.
That's good.
Again, through the podcast, knowing that I'm getting to talk about stuff each week, and it probably is talking to you each week as well. Because we were really bad. Like, we'd text each other, maybe see each other like 3 times a year, just because we were busy.
Yeah, it's just.
But because we've made this commitment now, it is a weekly thing, even if it's only a couple of hours a week.
Yeah.
But we used to meet up, and like, I'd go to yours or you come to mine like 7, and one of us wouldn't leave the other one's house till 2 in the morning. But now it would, like, after everything, like, not just losing our stay and all the other crap that followed that, to actually feeling like things are moving forward. Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
I think it's very positive.
It is.
Very positive. I did say to you that we'll move forward eventually.
I mean, it's baby steps, but
it's moving. Yeah.
And you know what I'm most proud of as well? I've made that happen. I've made it happen.
Yeah.
Even when I'm gonna be up right now, even when I've been down and dark because of grief and stuff, me saying I haven't got mental health issues and then coming out with this, I've still kept that thing as one step forward, keep moving forward, keep doing the bits, little tiny bits each day, whether it's posting something on the Instagram, whether it's editing something, doing something, just move, even just walking the dog around the block.
Yeah.
It's always been a step forward to where I need to be, rather than wallow like a seal or a walrus.
A seal or a walrus. I don't think Tasha's getting that bad, Linz.
Not yet. Get it waxed. No. But no, that's it. I'm...
seal or a walrus.
Yeah, I just feel better. Great.
That's good.
And I think on that note, on our happy, positive note, that's why I like to do the grateful thing at the end of each one.
Yeah. Just finish on a positive.
Yeah.
Should always finish on a positive.
Even each night going to bed, I've got a grounding stone I got when I went to see Reet, the psychic.
Oh yeah.
And I hold it each night and think of whatever I've been grateful for that day.
Oh wow.
Do you know what? It's only one thing you've got to pick, but you know when you're lying there and you're like, well, I like that, and that was good, and that was good, and that was good, and it reminds you, and then psychologically you're going to sleep on a positive note. That's what I get all my clients to do. That. There you go. You can do that now too.
Good. Very good.
On that note, shall we say bye till next week?
Yes.
And we will speak to you all next week.
Yes. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.